Oh, Ziva, why are you attacking my chair? It's really rude. So today I wanted to show you guys how I get laminated looking brows with my soap, my Dr. Bronner soap. I recently did a friend's makeup and she uses the Anastasia Brow Freeze, so that's what I used on her brows. And she was like, the best way to make them stick is to use a lot of product and then like flatten them again. What are you doing? This cat. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's very distracting to me. She's just like in that like monster mode, you know, where she just has to destroy things. Anyway, so we're gonna power through it. So, she's chewing on a wrapper. Oh my God. You are so annoying. Anyway, she said to use a lot of product, flatten it with your finger, like really press it to the skin. So that was the first time that I tried that. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do this with my soap because I never do that. And it went really well. So that's what we're gonna do. Where did I put my spoolie? Okay, so I actually really prefer the way this looks without anything in my brows to start off with. So we're just gonna do clean brows. Obviously I have, you know, foundation and a bunch of that stuff on. What I'm gonna be using is my Dr. Bronner's bar of soap. You can get this anywhere, drugstore, whatever. You can just get it wet with a little bit of water or use a setting spray. That's usually what I use just because it's here. So I'm gonna mist it so it's a little bit wet. And then, did I wash? I didn't even wash this. Oh my God, such a mess. And I want to pick up like a decent amount of soap, but I'm basically just using a spoolie. You can use any spoolie. My favorite one is from Sigma. And the reason that I was like inspired to do this is because she was telling me how she goes through the Anastasia Brow Freeze so quickly. And obviously like a bar of soap lasts forever and it's super cheap. So I'm going to use quite a bit and I'm kind of like dragging it against my skin to really put it through. Now the only thing you want to keep in mind is not going like out onto your foundation because you don't want to like, you just don't want to mix the soap with your foundation. So, you know, brush them in the direction that you want. Make sure you're applying enough product. And then what you're going to do is rather than just leaving it, use your finger to push, to basically just smooth the hairs down. And you can kind of like smooth them out or just press them down. But that's how you get that look. It's like such a huge difference. Okay, and then basically you just want that to like set enough before you go in with like whatever product you want to use next. You can use powder on an angled brush. You could use a brow pen. You can use a pencil. I prefer a brow pen and or powder. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go in with my Anastasia brow powder. This is Ash Brown powder duo, and I usually use the like slightly more gray toned one, just like slightly lighter. And I'm using this is the same thing that I use the spoolie. It's the Dream Brow Dream Brow brush. It's an angled brush and a spoolie from Sigma. I'm just gonna dip into the powder and I'm gonna kind of just like really lightly start filling the brow. And what I like about this is that like it starts to really fill in your eyebrow and make it look like full because you're just shading underneath those hairs, but all of the brow hairs are staying nice and defined, you know? And you want to wait for it to dry because if you go in while it's still wet, it can kind of just like clump up. Or like if you move it around a little too much, it can kind of like remove the hair from your skin and then it'll fall later on. So I'm kind of just like going in and shaping like around the outer perimeter of the hairs, focusing on the tail end. That's such a big difference. And then to finish off, I'm going to use my just my hero product. This is the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen from NYX. I gotta find the right color. And I use the shade Gray Black. Draw some hairs in like the very sparse areas. But I want to maintain that like really natural laminated effect. And by natural laminated, I mean like the individual hair look. So I'm just kind of enhancing with the brow pen. Alright guys, that's how I do laminated brows with all my favorite brow products. If you feel like when you do this part of your brow is just like too tall, that's what mine was. I just kind of like trimmed it a little bit because this part tends to get a little bit longer, and I just left the rest of them alone because I like that part to be more full. So it makes a pretty big difference. I really like the way it looks. It's not something that I like feel the need to do all the time, but I really do like it, and you don't have to spend like $25 or however much the Anastasia Brow Freeze is. You can do the exact same thing with the Dr. Bronner soap that I always recommend. So hope you enjoyed, and I actually would really appreciate your recommendations for other brow pens because I love the NYX one, but I'm always looking for more, you know? So yeah, leave me your suggestions down below. Bye.